Hello class 7 students, welcome back to the computer class. Today we are going to start chapter 5 of your Being Online book, which is working in Flash CS6. Learning outcomes. After you have studied this lesson, you will be able to know about the basics of animation, the program used to create it. Learn and use different components of Flash CS6. In this chapter, you will learn about the history of animation as well as how the computer has changed the way of animators to make cartoons. What is animation? Animation is a series of drawings that show action by changing the still image slightly. It can be made to look like it is moving. It is done by rapidly showing the images in sequence. The human eye sees the images as movement, not as separate pictures. History of animation. Although humans have learned drawing cartoon pictures since the time of the cave dweller, the ability to show movement did not occur until the 19th century. It was during this time that scientists created the camera and projector. Artists were then able to use this technology to fill a series of drawings that, when shown rapidly, looked like they were moving. In the beginning, artists would draw a picture by hand and then film it. Then they would change the image and film the new picture. These still images were strung together to create an animated picture. It would take a very long to make animators using this method. It was not until the 1960s that animation was made easier by using the computer. At first, the technology would allow artists to draw simple shapes and view the objects as if they were three-dimensional. Later, the computer made it easy for the artist to draw a picture and run the software to automatically create the animation. Today, software programs have become very complex and can create lifelike animation that have realistic lighting and textures. Flash CS6. Flash CS6 is a program that can be used to create animations. Flash animations are used most often on the internet. This is because they can be complex but still have the small file sizes, making it easier for people to view. Flash animation is used to create online games, electronic greeting. Flash animations are used most often on the internet. This is because they can be complex but still have small file sizes, making it easy for people to view. Flash animation is used to create online games, electronic greeting cards, information videos, electronic advertisements, splash pages for company websites, or fancy navigation buttons. Flash has many features that make it easy to create animation. Open the Flash program. To open the Flash program, do the following. From the File menu, click on New, select ActionScript 3.0 and then click on OK. Your window may look slightly different. If you are missing some of the parts, click on the Window menu, click on the Toolbar option and select Edit Bar. Place a check mark beside Timeline, Tools and Library. In this interface, you can see a window like this will pop up. Note, the options are slightly different for earlier versions of the program. Parts of the Flash window. Menu bar. The menu bar is a bar at the top of the window. It lists menu options including File, Edit, View, Insert, Modify, Text, Command, Control, Debug, Window and Help. Stage. The stage is the white area in the center of the window. It is where Flash moves are created. Timeline. The timeline is typically at the bottom of the window. It is an area where you insert all the actions that happens in your movies so that they happen at the correct time. It is made up of the series of boxes. Each box is a frame. Keyframes are added to the timeline to set the start and end point for each animation. Layers. The layers are part of the timeline. They divide the stage into levels. The layer section has tools to show, lock or unlock layers as well as display layer contents as outlines. By placing objects on different layers, it is possible to have several animations appear at the same time. Layers can also be used to adjust the stacking order of objects. The layer at the bottom of the list is at the back of the stage. The layer at the top of the list is at the front of the stage. Tools panel. The tool panel is vertical bar that holds a collection of drawing tools used to create and customize objects on the stage. Property inspector. A panel that displays option for the selected tool when it is active. Library panel. The library panel stores the media elements and symbol for a project. Use this panel to insert, delete or rename items in the library. Edit bar. The bar that contains commonly used program options to edit the state, such as changing the scene currently displayed, selecting a symbol and adjusting the magnification. Parts of the Tools panel. The Tools panel includes everything you need to create, select or edit graphics on the stage. It is divided into 6 parts. Read the description and then label the diagram. Selection tools. Tools used to select an area on the canvas and modify the selection. Drawing the text tools. Tools used to draw and paint lines, shapes and text. These are the icons for different tools. You can see all the tools given here. Color tools. Tools used to add bones, fill an area, copy a color or erase a mistake. Navigation tools. Tools used to move or magnify an area. Stroke and fill color selectors. Tools used to select an outline or fill the color. Tool options. A tray that displays its option for the selected tool. Look at the tool options in the tool panel. Pick a brush size and shape. Click the paint mode tool in the tool options. List the 5 types of paint mode. Paint normal, paint fills, paint behind, paint selector, paint inside. A. Sub-selection. Edit the individual points of a shape. B. Lasso. Select a part of a stage by drawing freehand around the area. C. Pen. Draw by clicking on the stage to add points to form a series of lines. D. Brush tool. Spray paint on the stage. E. Deco tool. Draw preset patterns on the stage. F. Hand. Move the stage within the window. G. Zoom, increase or decrease the magnification of the stage. Timeline. Open the Flash program. From the File menu, click on New. Select an Action Script 3.0, then click on OK. The secret of making animations using Flash is to add keyframes to the timeline. The timeline organizes and controls a document, a content over time in layers and frames. A. Playhead. Red bar that shows the current frame and moves from left to right when the project plays. B. Timeline header shows the frame numbers. C. Layer row in the timeline that divides the stage into levels to create different animations that plays at the same time. D. Frame box that holds a single picture in a strip of animation. E. Current frame indicator that displays the number of selected frames. In this image, you can see the interface of Flash CS6. F. Frame rate indicator that sets the speed or frames per second FPS at which the animation plays. Frames. The timeline is made up of numbers with boxes. Each box is a frame. A frame holds a single picture in the strip of animation. The numbers in the timeline header tell the frame number. These can be used as a guide to help in placing object, animation or sound into the correct frame. You can select a frame by clicking on it. Frame rate. A default Flash document shows 24 frames per second, 2400 FPS. This is 24.00 FPS. This is called the frame rate. 24.00 FPS means in 1 second you will watch the animation from 24 frames. It is important to understand frames per second because this will help you set when the animation should start and stop. For example, in this assignment, you are going to add text. You will want to leave the words on the screen for long enough for a person to read. You will likely need 3 seconds for a person to read the words. At 24 frames per second, the text would need to be on the screen for 72 frames. Keyframes. You use the timeline to fill the frames. To do this, you add keyframes. Keyframes are the key to animation. A keyframe is a frame in an animated sequence that contains drawn objects. You can only add objects to keyframes. You have two choices when you add a keyframe to a timeline. You can add a keyframe which copies the content of the previous keyframe into the new one, or you can add a blank keyframe which does not copy the content of the previous keyframe and instead is empty. What type of keyframe you use depends on the type of animation you are creating. Layers. You will notice that the layers has a row in the timeline. By adding additional layers, it is possible to have many animations happening at the same time. This is because on each layer, a keyframe can be added to the timeline at the same frame number. This makes it possible to have a dog's tail wag at the same time as his ears wiggle. Simple animation using Adobe Flash CS6. Frame by frame animation. Create frame by frame animation. Frame by frame animation changes the content of the stage in every frame and is best suited to complex animation, in which an image changes in every frame instead of simply moving across the stage. It increases file size more rapidly than tweened animation. In frame by frame animation, Flash Pro series the values for each complete frame to create. Flash Pro stores the value for each complete frame. To create a frame by frame animation, define each frame as a keyframe and create a different image for each frame. Each new keyframe initially contains the same content as the keyframe preceding it. So you can modify the frame in the animation incrementally. Click a layer name to make it the active layer and select a frame in the layer when animations is to start. If the frame is not already a keyframe, select insert, then timeline, then keyframe. Create the artwork for the first frame of the sequence. Use the drawing tools, paste graphics from the clipboard or import a file. To add a new keyframe whose content are the same as those of the first keyframe, click the next frame to the right in the same row and select insert, then timeline, then keyframe, or right click Windows or control click Macintosh and select insert keyframe. To develop the next increment of the animation after the content of this frame on this stage. To complete your frame by frame animation sequence, repeat steps 4 and 5 until you have built the desired motion. To test the animation sequence, select Ctrl, then Play, or click the play button on the Control window, then Toolbars, then Controller. Timeline motion tween in Flash. Motion tween is nothing but tweening a symbol's movement from one position to another. Steps to follow. Open a new Flash file, menu, then File, then New, or just simple press shortcut key Ctrl+N. New document window will open. Choose Type Action Script 3.0 and press OK. Now you can see a single layer called Layer 1 in your timeline window picture alongside. Here you can see the picture. Select the first frame by clicking the rectangle under the frame number 1. Import the image located on the desktop pencil.jpeg, upon which you would like to implement motion tween. Menu, then File, then import to stage, or just Ctrl+R. Now select your object onto the stage, go to menu, then modify, then convert to symbol, or simple press F8 to convert this image to a symbol. Convert to symbol window will pop up. Name your symbol whatever you like. Select a button as type and press OK. Note: you can create motion tween only on symbols. So, Any object upon which you would want to implement motion tween, first convert the objects to a symbol. Right now your symbol is in frame 1 or layer 1. Select frame 20, go to menu, then insert, then timeline, then keyframe, or simple press F6 to insert a new keyframe. Move your symbols to other position from the present position. Select any frame between 2 to 19. Right click on the selected frame. Choose Create Classic Tween. Now your layer will look something like the one shown above in this picture. Now press Ctrl plus Enter to view your motion tween. Go to menu, then file, then publish to publish your product into Flash file. Timeline shape tween in Flash. By tweening shapes, you can create an effect similar to morphing, making one shape appear to change into another shape over time. Flash can also tween the location, size and color of shapes. Steps to follow. Open a new Flash file menu, then File, then New, or just simply press shortcut key Ctrl plus N. New document window will open. Select General Panel, choose Type ActionScript 3.0 and press OK. Now you can see a single layer called Layer 1 in your timeline window. Select the first frame. Now go to your working area and draw any object. To start off with, maybe you can draw a circle by choosing Oval tool from the toolbox on the right. This is going to be your initial object. Select frame 60, go to menu, then insert, then time, then keyframe, or simply press F6 to insert a new keyframe. Delete the object present in your working area. Now draw a different object, maybe a square, by choosing Rectangle tool from the toolbox. Select any frame between 2 to 59, right click on the selected frame, choose Create Shape Tween. Now your layer will look something like the one shown on previous page. Now press Ctrl plus Enter to view your shape tween. In these images, you can see the interface for all these steps. Go to menu, then file, then publish to publish your product into Flash file. Bumblebee transformation. This time you will need to make a shape tween to turn a car into Bumblebee. Steps to follow. Open a new Flash file, menu, then file, then new, or just simply press shortcut key Ctrl plus N. New document window will open. Select General Panel, choose Type, ActionScript 3.0 and press OK. Now you can see a single layer called Layer 1 in your timeline window. Select the first frame by clicking the rectangle under frame number 1. Import your image located on the desktop. Bumblebee underscore car.png onto a stage upon which you would want to implement motion tween. Menu, then file, then import stage, or just press Ctrl plus R. Go to menu, then modify, then bitmap, then trace bitmap. In the pop-up window, select pixel as your curve fit. Click on OK. Select frame 40, go to menu, then insert, then timeline, then keyframe, or simply press F6 to insert a new keyframe. Delete the picture present in your working area. Now repeat steps 3 to 4 except this time to import bumblebee.png. Select by frame between 2 to 39. Right click on the selected frame and choose Create Shape Tween. Now press Ctrl plus R. Enter to view your shape tween. Go to menu /file/publish to publish your product into Flash file. Motion guide in Flash. Motion guide is nothing but moving your symbol in a predefined path such as curves or circles. Steps to follow. Open a new Flash file, menu, then file, then new, or just simply press shortcut key Ctrl plus N. New document window will open. Select General Panel and choose Type ActionScript 3.0 and press OK. Now you can see a single layer called Layer 1 in your timeline window. Double click on Layer 1 and rename the layer as Graphic. Create a graphic symbol by importing your image car.png onto stage. upon which you would want to implement motion tween. Menu, then file, then import to stage, or just press Ctrl plus R. Right click on the car and select free transform. Adjust the size of the car. Right click on the graphic layer label and select add classic motion guide from pop-up window. A new layer will appear on the top of the graphic layer with the label guide graphic along with the guide icon. Draw the path for your symbol in this new layer using pencil or line tool from the toolbars. For example, draw a circle for your car. Select frame 40 of guide layer. Go to menu, then insert, then timeline, then frame, or simply press F5 to insert frames. Now go to frame 1 of graphic layer and drag your symbol to one end of your path. Example, 3 o'clock direction, rotate the head of the car upward. Now go to frame 40 of graphic layer and press F6 to insert a new keyframe. Now go to frame 10 of graphic layer and press F6 to insert a new keyframe. Drag your car to 1/4 way of the path, example 12 o'clock direction. Right click on the car and select free transform, then rotate the head of the car leftward. Select any frame between 2 to 9. Right click on the selected frame, choose create classic tween. Now go to frame 20 of graphic layer and press F6 to insert a new keyframe. Drag your symbol to 1/2 way of the path, example 9 o'clock direction. Right click on the car and select the free transform. Then rotate the header of the car downward. Select any frame between 11 to 19. Right click on the selected frame and choose create classic tween. Now go to frame 30 of graphic layer and press F6 to insert a new keyframe. Drag your symbol to 3/4 way of the path, example 6 o'clock direction. Right click on the car and select free transform, then rotate the header of the car rightward. Select any frame between 21 to 29. Right click on the selected frame and choose create classic tween. Select any frame between 31 to 39. Right click on the selected frame and choose create classic tween. Now your layer will look something like the one shown in this image. Go to menu, then file, then publish to publish your product onto flash file. Press Ctrl plus enter to view your work. Zoom in / zoom out animation with fading effect. Steps to follow. Repeat steps 1, 2 and 3 from the motion tween. Select the first frame, import your image background.png onto stage, upon which you would want to implement motion tween. Menu, then file, then import to stage, or just press Ctrl plus R. Press F8, convert this image to a symbol. Name this symbol background_GRA. Choose graphic, behavior and press OK. Name the layer back on the 35th frame. Go to menu, then insert, then timeline, then keyframe, or simply press F6 to insert a new frame. Insert a new layer, select the second layer and import an image of a car, cart.png. Go to modify, then convert to symbol, or simply press F8 to convert this image to a symbol. Name the symbol car1_M. Choose the movie clip, type F8 and press OK. Name this layer car1. Select the image car1_M. Then right click, then edit in place. Now you will come to a new timeline window. On frame 1 of symbol 2, convert the image to a graphic car1.gr. Select the image by clicking on it. Go on the properties, then color effect, then alpha. Drag and change the alpha value into 0. In frame 5, insert a new keyframe. Press F6 and changes alpha to 100% and make the image small in order to resize the car symbol you need to right-click the symbol and select the free transform. Then you shall be able to resize the car symbol. Right-click in between frame 1 and frame 5 and press Create Classic Tween. Add one more keyframe in frame 20 in the frame. Make the image car1_gr bigger and move it out. Example, on frame 25, insert a new keyframe and change the alpha to 0%. Insert Classic Tween in between frame 5 to 20 and frame 20 to 25. Now press Ctrl plus Enter to view your motion tween. Finally, press Ctrl plus Enter to view your final animation. Go to Menu, then File, then Publish to publish your product into Flash file. Picture animation. Now you will create a picture animation using the fade in and fade out effect. Repeat steps 1, 2 and 3 from the timeline motion tween. Select the first frame, import your image background.png onto stage upon which you would want to implement motion tween. Menu, then File, then Import to stage, then import to stage or just press Ctrl plus R. Import to the first picture p1.jpg. Go to Modify, then Convert to Symbol or simply press F8 to convert this image to a symbol. Choose Movie Clip, type F8 and press OK. Right-click on frame 15 and select Insert Keyframe. Click any frame between 2 and 14. Right-click and select Create Classic Tween. Right-click on frame 30 and select Insert Keyframe. Click any frame between 16 and 29. Right-click and select the Create Classic Tween. Click frame 1, select the image by clicking on it. Go to the Properties, then Color Effect, then Alpha. Draw and change alpha values into 0. Click frame 15, select the image by clicking on it. Go to Properties, then Color Effect, then Alpha. Draw and change alpha value into 100. Click frame 30, select the image by clicking on it. Go to Properties, then Color Effect, then Alpha. Drag and change the alpha value to 0. Insert a new layer. Select the second layer. Right-click on frame 31 and select Insert New Keyframes. Repeat steps 3 to 9 except import another picture p2.jpg and finish the operation on layer 2. Insert a new layer. Select the third layer. Right-click on frame 61 and select Insert New Keyframe. Repeat steps 3 to 9 except import another picture p3.jpg and finish the operation on layer 3. Finally, press Ctrl plus Enter to view your final animation. Go to Menu, then File, then Publish to publish your product into Flash file. Let's see the quick recap. Animation is a series of drawings that shows action. It was not until the 1960s that animation was made easier by using the computers. Flash CS6 is a program that can be used to create animations. Flash animations are used most often on the internet. Flash animation is used to create online games, electronic greeting cards, information videos, electronic advertisements, splash pages for company websites or fancy navigation buttons. The timeline is made up of numbers with boxes. A default Flash document shows 24 frames per second, 24.00 FPS. Moral learned. The main reason to learn Flash may be summed up by the idea that more you know, the better. Every time you learn a new tool, you are setting up your brain to be better at learning a new software in general. Thank you, class. Let's meet again in the next chapter.